is Tina from TinaHeals.com, and today I'm here to give you a general tarot guidance. I will give you the 12 signs, of course, and let's get an idea. For each sign, I will choose three cards. One will be from the Druid deck. I love working with this deck. One will be from the Romance Angels. It'll give you a good idea as to what you can expect in the romance department. And the other deck that I will be using is Osho Zentaro. So with the Osho Zentaro, we have a very good clarifier. Oops, no, sorry, I don't think I have the Osho Zentaro with me. I have the Paulina deck, Paulina Troll, so I'm going to use that. Okay, so my cats have started playing again as soon as I get to work. Now, let's see what we have. Let me fix. Okay, so we are going to start with Aries. So Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Um, I usually like to go with the Ascendant, and then of course the Moon sign, also the Sun. But remember, nothing is quite as important as your Ascendant. It's the point of contact your soul makes with the material world. Okay, so let's see. I am going to pick three cards for each sign. So let's see what we have for Aries. Okay, Aries, we have Five of Cups. So it's interesting because this is about emotions, and believe me, recently I have been pulling a lot of cups. There is of course a huge grand water trine that's happening with a lot of planets in their rulership. Of course, Neptune is in his rulership. So we've got the Five of Cups for Aries, and to me this is about wasted opportunities, something that you think that you've lost, and you don't know quite how to um, make sense of that loss, if you know what I mean. But I think there is something, a vestige of something that remains, that you can hold on to, that you can grasp if you allow yourself to count the proverbial blessing. Okay, there is a blessing. Yes, there is melancholia because you are probably witnessing things happen, and you feel see, with Chiron in Aries, there's a lot of victimization that can go on in your psyche. Sorry. So that's something you've got to understand. If you are feeling this victimization, then it's time to let go. Although you are not that type to hold on to something and um, not confront it. You like to confront things, and that's really good. But sometimes it's important to also understand when to confront and when to step back. Please close the door. Now, in the romance department, let's see what we have for you Aries. Okay. September is going to be a month when things can finally move forward, because we've escaped the eclipse wormhole, and we are now finally moving forward with Mercury going direct, and of course Mars now going direct, and so much happening with Mars being our impulse to grow, our impulse to go after what we want. So that is the young impulse, Mars. And retreat. So this is interesting because this kind of ties up this theme with the Five of Cups, where essentially you might want to retreat. okay? And you are probably retreating within, okay? Now, how I see this play out in the romantic area is that, of course, you may meet someone at a retreat, but other than that, if you allow yourself time to integrate the lessons of Chiron that I know you're feeling, if you allow yourself to integrate what's going around, then I think, and that integration can only happen if you retreat within. Okay, this is an exploration of spaces within. So yeah, Aries looks good. Now I was gonna have the Osho Zendero, but I got the other bag and now I don't have that. So I have Pauline Tarot. So let's see what I have here. I have the World. So this is the god of completion. This is the god of abundance, of finally seeing something come full circle. See, Aries, the thing with you is you're great at starting things, initiating things, but sometimes you're not so good with completion. So I think this is sort of a sign from the universe that a completion is coming, if you allow it. If you retreat within and discover that maybe something is already complete. Okay, now you're gonna go to Taurus. So Taurus, you've had Uranus in your sign, and sorry, and having Uranus in your sign is of course the negative side of it is earthquakes and displacement of people, sudden changes, unexpected to the physical body, to the earth, okay? But there are, of course, very many good sides to Uranus and Taurus. There's going to be innovation when it comes to waste, when it comes to how we view our waste, how we use it, how we use technology to improve our physical body. Diseases, how we tackle diseases, not by just pilling, you know. There will be technology now. uh, I mean, Uranus is going to be 7 years, for 7 years in the sign of Taurus, and this is going to be a new era in the understanding of how we use medicine. So, Taurus, let's see what we have for you here. The month of September 2018. Interesting that for you, Taurus, I have the Eight of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is, of course, Earth, the Earth suit, and you are Earth. So, every time I think of Eight of Pentacles, I think of working hard. I think of uh, learning something. I think of being an apprentice, or even following someone online and learning from them, bettering your skills. Okay, 8 is a very interesting number because 8, once you flip it horizontal, you have the sign of infinity, and 8 in its upright position is all about physical, is about the physical world, and Taurus is about the physical world. So I think you're creating something, Taurus, and I think you're on the right path. Just if you're a Taurus and you feel like you've not started this process of creating or learning or studying, then I think it's time to look into it. The universe is asking you to look into it. Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Now I'm going to keep that aside and go for the love thing. Now I don't know how uh, Uranus in your sign is treating you, but of course there are going to be shocks with Uranus. There's always shocks, so be prepared. That's all. Taurus, for some of you, this is about expressing how you feel, okay? And finding that voice within to express your love. If you feel that something special for someone, maybe you don't want to express your love because you're actually fermenting with this idea and you're working on this idea and you want to see it concrete and you want to see something palpable in your hand, something that's tangible, and then you want to express your love. But maybe you can work together on this. I don't know. It's up to you to express or not to express. All I can do is suggest to you that the time is right. You can express. The Tower. This is actually the card of Uranus, and this is actually all about violent, radical, life-defining changes. The Tower moment, and this is from Paulina Tarot. So it's a really beautiful this deck, and it's very surreal, very avant-garde, and very surreal. So it's like your ego structures are going to come crumbling down. And Taurus, you can be prone to stubbornness. Being earth and being a fixed sign, you can be prone to stubbornness. But maybe what Uranus is here to teach you that it's okay to uh, let it be and just experience each moment as it comes instead of freakishly trying to control everything. Because like the wise man said, the wise monk said, that once you realize that nothing is under control, you learn to watch your breath. Because here you are emancipated in a way. You understand that nothing is under your control. You're here to experience reality. You're here to witness reality. You are the observer for whom the universe is unfolding itself. Because you are the universe. So understand that you are much more than just a human being that needs to procure, that needs to buy, that needs to be a certain way. You are much more than that. And maybe this Tower moment will define that change for you. Maybe expressing your love can bring about this Tower moment for you. Your ego structures can come crashing down, but you have to be prepared to face it. Because with Uranus is a spiritual awakener and is in your sign after 84 years. This has got to be special, very special. So make use of that energy and go with it. Okay, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and course Mars, Venus. Okay, so Gemini. We've got the Four of Swords for you. So it's again an air suit. Swords are air. And Gemini, you are air. Being the third sign of the zodiac, you're ruled by Mercury. And you are extremely mercurial as an intellectual, analytical. Your impulse is to communicate. So, how do I see Four of Swords? I see it as a period of convalescence. I see it as a period of fruitful waiting, of healing, of understanding why you lost what you lost, why certain things happened the way they did. And Gemini, being an air sign, being all about communication, you do tend to neglect your emotional body, your connecting body. You're flitting from one experience to the other. So, so this can be about rooting. This can be about enjoying that moment of peace. preparing your arsenal, of course, but enjoying that moment of peace. Okay, so wait for it. Let yourself heal. Don't go into open combat, or don't go into uh, confrontations. I know your ruler is direct and you have this tremendous impulse to just be out, get it out, put it out there, uh, say it, speak it out. But maybe you need to wait, and you need to think, and you need to uh, re-strategize everything. So Mars is playing, has been retrograde and is now just started going direct in Capricorn and is moving to Aquarius, which is very good for you. Mars direct in Aquarius coming shortly by the 8th. uh, Mars is already direct, by the way, but we still have this stationary direct period. But even then, the potentiality of Mars is huge right now. So we have the impulse to move ahead, do something. And with you, Gemini, you've probably been, hibernating and feeling this eclipse season heavily, feeling all this uh, landscape heavily, because for you, again, of course, there's been a lot of Leo activation. Okay, so and you don't want to get into emotions so heavily. So maybe it's time to correct that, Gemini. Now in the loft department, let's see what we have for you. So passion. So you uh, are probably feeling some passionate vibes with someone. If not, then you will. Wait for it. Don't give up. Wait for it, and it's gonna happen to you. Okay, so the eclipses that just happened, I can tell you that you've been feeling this real intense emotion stirring up, because so much has been activated for you. And let's see what we have for you. The Emperor, the god of Aries. So either the Emperor is actually a very mature person that pops up and gives you support. If it's not a person who's an Aries, then this could be about you finding the necessary infrastructure, or the necessary wherewithal to finally find that stability. The Emperor is about stability in the physical world. Okay, so Uranus is in your 12th house, Gemini. So, as I said, a lot of unconscious work is happening for you, a lot of primal stuff is activated for you. So, it's deep, but it's going to change you forever. And I think this month is about you finding some stability in all this chaos. Some you will be able to make sense of the chaos in some way. Okay, now Cancer, for the month of September, what can you expect, Cancer? Let's see. Alright, so Prince of Cups in reverse, Cancer. It's the first reverse card that I pulled. Now, this is Cups, so it's emotions again, it's the corresponding suit, it's the exact suit. But what I want to say is that this could be about a sad love story. This could be about unrequited love. This could be about unfulfilled dreams, or somebody could potentially let you down. I hate to say this, and it's not, of course, for every Cancer, but for some Cancerians out there, the Prince of Cups is a twin flame card, because the Prince is all about wish fulfillment, promises fulfilled, and cherished, memories cherished, and new adventures, and passion and love making, uh, soulmate, twin flame connection. This in reverse tells me that all this is, these things are going to come up for you to maybe resolve, or maybe it can even be deceit. Okay, so some water sign, maybe a fellow Scorpio or a fellow Pisces. There could be some lies and deception. So let's see what I have for you in the romance oracle. Make the effort. So make the effort to learn the truth, I think, in this case. Okay? And maybe there is a third person involved in all of this. And maybe that third person really likes you, but you don't know about it, and you will come to know about it. And I guess then you might have to decide, and it's up to you then to make the effort. I don't know why I said that, because I just saw the scene being played out, so I just said it the way I saw it. So for some of you Cancerians, something's going to come to light, and you will feel compelled to act on it. Okay. Ten of Swords. So again, this is quite an interesting card to get with this, because, as I said, that the Prince of Cups in reverse, and this Ten of Swords, they are extremely difficult and challenging cards, alright? Now, I don't want you to fret about it, please. This is what Spirit wants you to know, so you're prepared, so you know what to expect. And look, uh, with the eclipses now going into the Cancer Capricorn polarity, with even Rahu and Ketu will be moving into Cancer Capricorn. So this is really going to change your lives, okay, Cancerians. You can go kicking and screaming, or you can be prepared for it. And you tend to, you see, you're the sign of the mother, okay? And if you really look at it, sometimes some of you, I'm not saying all of you can have this tendency to over mother, and that can be very overbearing, or that can be very pushy, or that can actually push someone away. Or if you become too controlling, someone may just start lying to you, and you don't want to deal with that. You want the truth. And believe me, a bitter truth is better than sugar coated lies. I don't care if you agree with me, but in the long run, it's always viable to know the truth, okay? So, what I think for you Cancerians, with this Prince of Cups in reverse and this Ten of Swords here that I see, that can ruffle you up this September, okay? So I think, see, the Ten of Swords is essentially about a very painful cycle coming to an end. Like I said, I saw in my mind's eye that there's a third person involved who likes you, and this is going to come to light for you. So are you at that point going to, are you going to let go of those toxic relationships that were really just, I mean, it was just not serving you? Okay, it was time to move on, bruh. Okay, so simple. This tells me that this has to do with your love life. Okay, it could be with someone you can meet, or I think this story has been going on for a long time, though, if you ask me. It's not so much it's not such a new thing, all right? Now, okay, so Cancer, you also have to think of your finances, a lot of your finances, because Leo is your second house. So a lot of Leo activations been going on. So okay, now let's move on to Leo. Finances, I think, is a huge thing that's been playing out with you, and I think things are gonna get a bit more clear. It'll get clearer once I think September moves on, and we'll be able to see past all this Saturn lessons that we really need to understand and integrate. Okay, so yeah, where am I? I've done Cancer, right? Okay, so now move on to Leo, the fifth sign, the astrological sign of Leo, ruled by the Sun. Okay, now Leo, what do I have for you, Leo? Alright, interesting because we've got the Four of Swords for Leo again. So I think we had this for Taurus. I'm not sure we had this for Taurus or no, we didn't have this for Taurus. Taurus was Eight of Pentacles. I think we had this for Gemini. Swords and the Swords. So okay, interesting Leo, because I understand that from last August, which is 2017 August, when the great American eclipse hit you, it was probably the most life changing experience ever. And if you are like me and you have like loads of things happening in Leo, then you've definitely felt it like heavily. Okay, and you've again had two eclipses and now you're like done. Okay, you've had the north node in your sign, which is of course you, about your inner sovereignty, which is about you understanding your individual self. But it's heavy having the north node or Rahu on you. It really puts you in the center stage, and I don't mean always in the good way that Leo likes to be center stage. Okay, it just puts you right there whether you're prepared or not, and you just have to move along and improvise, you know. So, Four of Swords, yeah, things are happening for you, Leo. Things are changing, things are moving, things are in flux. But I think this card is essentially telling you to find your own state of Zen in all this mess that's going on. Ground yourself, uh, understand the strategies that you have to employ, understand what worked and what didn't work, and why it didn't work, and why it could be better, or why. Sometimes maybe you realize that you couldn't do anything about it. It was the way it is. It was the way it was, and it is the way it is, and you've just got to let it go. Now, Four of Swords gives you that intellectual recalibration, that understanding that okay, uh, I've been through this, I've experienced this, I've had to go through that, I've felt humiliated, I felt belittled, but okay, what has it taught me? What has it taught me? And I think this is about that contemplation, Leo, that you really need to do. And Mercury hovering over your sign, going retrograde and teaching you all this really heavy karmic communication lessons, I think has been very interesting. And especially me, I have my natal Mercury there, which is constantly being activated by the degrees and by the planets activating it. So it's been heavy, and I think that finally the year is going to take a very positive and upbeat turn. You know, it's going to shift the energy. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have not been successful in coming online and doing these videos and lives that I regularly do, and I've just not had the time because all these planets, this retrograde energy, the Lion's Gate, everything, it's just been really chaotic. I'm sure for everybody. So all we can do is recalibrate and understand how we need to go ahead with what we need to go ahead with, right? So Leo, trust in yourself, trust in the universe, trust in the process, trust in the person. And I'll tell you one thing, Mars has been in Aquarius, and Aquarius for Leo is his polarity, the seventh sign, which is all about relationships. So I think for Leo people, a lot of relationships have come under scrutiny, and if it was not meant to be, it might not be still standing today. Okay, but if you're one of those Leos, then it's time to understand that what's gone is gone. It's good, it's gone. Okay, and did I just get a card for you guys? I really forgot. I don't know. Did I choose a card for Leo? Yeah, trust. Yes, I did. Okay, now for Leo from the Polina Tarot. Okay, this is the card of Cancer. It's the Moon. Now, it's one of my favorite cards. Some people do use it as a negative signifier because in traditional tarot it could mean something hidden. So, deceit could be secrets, could be tongue wagging to malign your name. But I don't look at it like that, okay? To me, the moon is all about understanding and integrating duality, Leo. And you have been getting a good dose of that with all these eclipses. And with the Lions Gate activation, of course, happens when all this is going on in the astrological sign of Leo. So this is huge, and this to me is about you really integrating and understanding what's going on, because there is a wolf and there is a dog and they're howling at the moon. So this is about your higher self and your lower self. This is about you trying to understand maybe mysteries, because I feel that the moon is in some sense associated to the occult mysteries. Okay, there is this very mystical psychic energy to this card. So of course, and you are very psychic, whether you know it or not. You are very psychic, maybe not like Cancer, whose card it is. They are the empaths and the psychic, Pisces and Cancer, but you are too, Leo, in your own way. And I think you're gonna see some of that pop up for you, because we also had an eclipse in Cancer, which is your 12th house, and this is going to be big for you. It's going to be big in your subconscious, unconscious, past karma department. This great American eclipse was the longest solar eclipse of the century, and this lunar eclipse in Aquarius was the longest lunar eclipse of the century. So, having it in the polarity of Leo Aquarius tells me that these two signs are heavily in focus. Of course, we know about the age of Aquarius, of course, we know about all that, but look at it. The universe is asking us to look at what Leo means and what Aquarius means. We can't divorce ourselves from all the 12 signs, because if you really look at astrology, we are all the signs. We have a bit of Scorpio, we have a bit of Leo, we have a bit of Taurus, because you have 12 houses, and your personal planets can lie anywhere. So it's really about understanding these two houses and what personal planets you have in them, and then what houses they fall for you in your natal chart, and how you can work through that karma. I think this is the focus that the North and the South Node, Rahu and Ketu in Leo Aquarius. This is what the eclipses are trying to tell us. What is it about individuality, which is Leo, and community, which is Aquarius? Fifth house, 11th house. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Ruled by Sun Leo, by Saturn and Uranus Aquarius. Such a divergent mix of energies. In Vedic astrology, the Sun and Saturn don't mix together. So, Virgo, of of course, we are going to have the new moon in Virgo happening on the 9th of September. And this is, of course, going to put a spotlight in your sign, Virgo. Virgo is a sixth sign ruled by Mercury. It's extremely analytical, extremely intellectual. Virgo is an earth sign, but Virgo is unlike all the other earth signs, extremely intellectual, mercurial. Okay. Now, what do we have for you, Virgo? Interesting, because this is also reverse card. Two of Pentacles in reverse. So, Virgo, this is definitely about your finances, and with Saturn in your fifth, Mars in your sixth house is all about work, and it's really changing the way you look at your career, okay? And also with Uranus in your ninth, the way you communicate, the way you acquire higher wisdom, it's changing forever, okay? So this is so interesting because you may be confused about what direction to take right now. And believe me, clarity will come to you. Just don't rush anything right now when it comes to your career, when it comes to your money, when it comes to your finances. Just hold still, because this tells me that you're muddled up and that you don't see the clear picture. The Two of Pentacles, there's always an option, okay, and there's always a moving away from the storm into calmer areas. But this is reverse, so just be mindful of that. I have so much happening in Virgo, so just be mindful of that. And in the love department, what do you have for you, Virgo? In the love department, retreat to a honeymoon. Of course, for those of you Virgos that are getting married, honeymoon will be a very special time of bonding. If you're getting married during this moon, this lunation in your sign, then yeah, it's going to be very romantic. And for those of you, some of you may just decide, if you're already hitched, then you just may decide to find a second honeymoon. It's possible, okay? And you may just enjoy it a lot and really bond with your partner, okay? But with Virgo, I see a lot of stress being on finances. Ace of Pentacles. So if you've been working, because Saturn in the fifth likes hard work, so if you've been doing all that hard work, and if you've been, understanding what Uranus has to teach you, then what I see, that Ace of Pentacles, I see a new financial beginning. Okay, I see the start of something very lucrative for you, Virgo. Okay, something very lucrative for you. Now, Libra. Libra, Venus is going to be in Libra. Venus is in Libra. Okay, now. Interesting. I had the Five of Cups before. I think it's Aries. Five of Cups, yes. The first card, so Libra Aries, you are feeling this same kind of, uh, you know, lackluster feeling, when you feel sort of like dejected, when you feel like you've lost a lot, and you don't know if what you have is worth it. So things will come up for you with Venus moving through your sign, and then going into Scorpio, retrograding back into Libra. So this is going to raise a lot of questions about your love. Venus is your ruler, and this will be about love, about finances. So this is about emotions. So your emotions can be overwhelming, all over the place. Balance, Libra. You understand balance, but I think that you may need to connect more with your emotional body, and that's something you've got to allow yourself to do, Libra. It's not just gonna happen. In the love department, I think you may feel unloved, or you may feel unappreciated, but of course you deserve love. We all deserve love, whether we want to face it or not. We all deserve love. Okay. Eight of Cups. This is also a card that could herald a spiritual journey, but this is definitely about walking away from something. About you maybe even taking an inner journey, and you're full of mysticism. Are you full of yearnings? And I don't mean yearnings of the flesh, but really spiritual vibe this Eight of Cups has. Okay, so you had the Five of Cups and you had the Eight of Cups. Um, Interesting, you add them up 13. So that's a story. 13th of September, by the way, is a very lucky day. Is a very, very lucky day. So see how you can use that day to create some heavy alchemy. Okay, so we had, now we move on to Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Wow, for once I can say that this is like my favorite card, one of my favorite cards, because this is the Nine of Pentacles. It's about living the life you've always wanted to live. It's about finding abundance in the material realm, about um, finally putting your ideas out there and making money with your ideas. Not only making money, but creating a legacy. Being able to, I mean, being able to live your dreams. This is the very beginning. If you don't feel like you're at the very zenith, you are living the life you want to, maybe not tomorrow, but you will get there, Scorpio. And this is like the biggest signifier of that. You'll get there. Okay. Now in the love department, Scorpio, let's see what we have. So stay optimistic about your love life. So if Jupiter's been in your sign, and Jupiter was retrograde, now going direct, and Jupiter is known to bring in abundance. It expands whatever it touches. So if you've been feeling restricted somehow because maybe your personal planets were iffy, or maybe Saturn was aspecting you, it's going to clear. That time is going to clear, and you will see things with a lot of clarity. Oh wow, look, I cannot believe there's two such great cards. I mean, just concentrate on this. I think we all can, and look at that, that's abundance. And that is the Wheel of Fortune. Alright? So, Scorpio, for you, I see that you will finally be able to live the life you wanted to live, and create in the way that you want to create, whatever it is that you want to create, and whatever legacy you want to leave behind. Finally, it will be possible, and karmic events have been set into action, and they are going to culminate. So, gorgeous. This was the best read I think I had for the whole 12 signs. I'm not done the 12 signs, but for all the others, I think this is the best. Okay, moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Okay. So, what's going on, Sagittarius? You've escaped Saturn, and Saturn's now in Capricorn, and you had Saturn from 2015, so you've had your share, and now you're like, okay, Five of Wands. Interesting, because this is a card that you want should be reversed. You don't want it to be straight. You want this card to be reversed. And why is that? Because uh, Five of Wands is all about strife, uh, competing unfairly, um, someone maligning your name, spreading rumors. Maybe people are competing with you in your workplace. Maybe maybe somebody likes maybe you like someone, and then another office colleague likes that person too. Maybe you work together, all of you, and this is probably creating unhealthy competition amongst you guys. So if that's going on, then it's going to end. uh, this period of strife is going to end, Sag, and it's going to be good. Okay, now in the love department, what do we have for you in the love department? So if you have someone in mind, Sag, this could be the one. I mean, this is a very special relationship. So see how that goes. This could be the one. Okay. Now you're gonna meet someone special for sure. Now, Six of Cups is again a gorgeous card. Okay, this is about uh, family, happiness, connection, uh, maybe healing wounds with your family and children. Really exchanging. Sometimes children can also be creative ideas or creative projects. So, really harmoniously flowing with your creative ideas and creative projects. Alright, so I see. Good for you, Sag. Good for you. Capricorn. Now, things could be hard for Capricorns because Saturn and Pluto in your sign is not going to be easy, and Mars has been there, and that is like the party of the great malefics, Saturn and Mars. Now, Mars is about to enter Aquarius again, and let's see what we have here. This is Nine of Pentacles in reverse for you, Capricorn. What does that mean? That means your ideas in the life you want to create, it's being challenged. So you have that, and something's happening that's putting restrictions on it. It may be worthwhile to question yourself, that is this something you really want, or is if this is what you really want, then what is the best way to go about it, and can you break it down? See, you are the mountain goat and you're very intrepid and tireless, but you still have to sometimes sit down and understand that some things need to be left alone for a time frame, and then you need to get back to it to truly understand and see things from a vantage point. Because if you're too much in the mix of something, if you're working or dealing with something, and you're really heavily into it all the time, thinking about it, talking about it, then you may not be able to see the full picture, the whole picture, and what's going wrong may be evading you. So that's when you need to really let the ego go, let the stubbornness go, and let somebody else come in and have a look, you know. Now, in the love department, Capricorn, what do we have for you? Honeymoon. So again, if you're getting married, you're going on a honeymoon. Otherwise, I keep getting this card for my clients, and I tell them that this could very well be a message from spirit for you to take time out with your loved one. Take time out and to spend that time and really bond with each other. Really explore what you had before if you've lost it in any way, okay? And so Page of Wands is a new creative idea, that something that uh, something that you want to start, and you are going to be able to start this if you've been feeling creative. Then I think you will be able to uh, come out of that anyway, and you will be able to uh, go forward with this idea. Okay, now Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. Please, can you close the door, please? Aquarius. So I get for you the Hangman in reverse, Aquarius, with Mars going retro, being in your sign for so long, spending so much time activating you, Aquarius, with everything going to happen in Aquarius very shortly, with this being the age of Aquarius. I think that a lot of the focus, of course, the longest lunar eclipse was in Aquarius, and this this has definitely brought you many changes, and it has probably shown you the transience of life. And as an innovator, as a creator, you appreciate that. And with your ruler now in Taurus, you are ready to truly connect with the earth in new ways. So the Hanged Man in reverse tells me that you're still feeling muddled, and Mars has been in your sign. He's just started to go direct. We are still feeling the slow moving Mars, but say September 8th onwards, Mars will be in full forward motion in your sign, and finally you will not feel like the hangman in reverse or the hangman period. But remember, the hangman symbology also takes us to the crucifixion of Jesus, which essentially is about sacrifice. But sacrifice does not need to be martyrdom. When are you being a martyr? When are you being the victim? Okay, being caught in this martyr complex is not going to serve you. You have to break out of it. And patience, remember Odin had to hang in the tree of knowledge to understand runes and alchemy for 9 days, in the very way the hangman is hanging. Alright, so that weight was worth it, because that's how he understood the ancient wisdom of the runes, and he understood alchemy. So if there's the need for you to wait right now, appreciate that, look around you, and cherish that wait. Don't feel overwhelmed by it in any way, okay? Now your seventh house is Leo, and there have been these eclipses, and there's this huge long Mercury cycle that we just experienced in Leo. So have, if you're married and if you have a long-term relationship, then, and I understand you may be going through problems, but I understand that it's a past life relationship, and it's something that you have to experience. It's not something you can ignore. So now from Paulina Tarot for Aquarius, what do I have? Very good in terms of finances and solid manifestation. 10 of Pentacles. Oh, it's such a pretty card. Look at it. This is about realization of all your goals, realization of completion of something huge, something that you started in terms of money and finances is going to pay off in a big way. Okay, Aquarius. Now for Pisces, what does September hold for you, Pisces? Let's see. Neptune in your sign. And this is so interesting because according to astronomy, Neptune is actually coming closer to the Earth, whereas Jupiter and Saturn are actually moving away. So in a sense, this is truly a very Neptunian times that we live in, with the media, the prevalence of media, which is and celluloid, which is Neptune. So what do we have for Pisces? Let's see. Okay, Prince of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this could be conflict with an earth sign, male or female. If it's not, then this could be you missing out on a financial opportunity. Or somebody comes along and tells you that, okay, this is a good thing, this is what you need to do, and you put money in and you realize that no, it's not as great as they made it out to be. So what I suggest is, don't be gullible. Don't take out your money without cross-checking, without being absolutely certain that this is what you want to do with your finances. If someone comes along and says, okay, look, this is a great idea, all well and good, but you must know how to protect yourself, Pisces. Now, in terms of romance, we have for you, it's safe for you to love. So again, what I see is that you may feel cheated heavily about something, but if you can, take the necessary precautions and be prepared so you don't go through this, whatever this loss is, and you can open up your heart again and not feel like, okay, I was just taken for a ride there, and I don't want to go down that road again. But I think that you need to change that. Now, here, Six of Swords is interesting because Six of Swords is about your unconscious. It's actually about a journey. The Druid deck represents it very well, actually, with man and woman um, going on this beautiful boat away from troubled waters onto calm crystalline waters, and there's this shadowy figure that's rowing the boat, so that's facing your unconscious. But here, this is also a journey. There is a sense of this surreal creature going on in some sort of otherworldly journey. And see, with Six of Swords is that you're prepared for whatever's coming next, and you've probably gone through a very traumatic time, and now you're finally moving away from that trauma, and you're going to find the tools necessary for your healing. You're probably going to face your shadow self and maybe even integrate it, because that's what we need to do. to truly become spiritual beings is understand the light and the dark, the proton and the electron. We need to understand night and day. We need to understand that polarities exist because we create polarities, because we need reality to function through polarities, through binaries, through the codings of zeros and ones. So with Pisces, you are the sign that actually steps out of binaries. You're actually all about universal love and about return to source code. So I hope you like that, the tarot predictions for September 2018. I will make a astrology video for the 12 signs. So watch out for that, and please share this video, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. I love interacting with you. This, and check out my blogs, please. I write, so just do a little Google Tina Heals and you will see all my work pop up. See you soon. This is Tina from tinaheals.com. Bye. Peace and love.